Hello, this is Michael Gfroerer, and this is a second video on music creation for beginners that I've made into a game. In the first video, I was using one of each letter name, and you might have noticed the results were not very satisfying. Music is one of those things, kind of like classical architecture or something like a tree, where we don't really understand the proportions. So what I've done is I've done a statistical analysis of the frequency of notes in a melody. I want to show you a close-up of the chart on the right. On the left, I have a representation of my findings. So what I've done was I've calculated the frequency of each note based on 4 melodies. You can see my research over here on the right. I took 4 melodies: O Canada, Happy Birthday, Star Spangled Banner, and the 4th movement of Clementi's Opus 36, number 1, last movement of the Sonatina. And what I actually did for these melodies was I counted the frequency of each note. I just thought of everything in C major, and I calculated the percentage. So you see that in C major, C is the tonic, 20% of the note frequency was the tonic. Want to hop down to G, which is the dominant, 26%. With the 3rd degree of the scale, Mi, or E, 20%. So those are the big values. So the tonic, 20%, dominant, 26%, and the mediant, E in C major, 20%. The next biggest value was Re, or D, 15%, and then La, 5%, and T, or B, 3%. So what I've done was I've calculated this into the cubes, and I'm going to put these cubes in the box, and then we're going to see if we can come up with a better melody. So this is the realization of the statistical frequency of notes in a melody. So you see I have in C major 4 Cs, 4 Gs. It said 26% for the dominant, but I'm going to keep the tonic and the dominant the same. Subdominant, about 3/4 of the tonic and the dominant, and the same with the mediant, and then the D with 2. So I'm going to put them in the box. So the cubes are in the box now. It's shaken up. I'm not going to use necessarily all of them. I might just go for 8, pour them out left to right. So I'm going to take this as the first, the B, then the D. I next have 2 Gs, then an F, an E. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to end there. So interesting. Start with C, end with C. So 2 tonics, 2 dominants, 1 mediant, 1 subdominant, 1 supertonic, 1 leading. Okay, I'm going to write this out. So this is what I've come up with. C, B, D, G, G, F, E, C. So what I usually do with this exercise, this game, is I go to the closest key. So B is just a step down from C, and then I skip up to the D. For a G, usually you want to have an octave jump. I'm going to try it both ways. So here we go on the piano keys. actually comes out to be quite a nice melody. I'm going to try it with a repeated G. Do it one more time down there. So I think that it sounds much better when we realize the greater significance on the tonic, the dominant, and the median. So that was basically a ripoff of an atonal technique where you use 12 different pitches, but I wanted to come up with a random tonal melody, and I'm actually very satisfied with that. Hope you enjoyed.